Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. Ethereum has completed a possible 5-wave move to the upside. We talked about that already in the last video, in the last couple of days. It became quite apparent that we have a 5-wave move to the upside from the 23rd of January low. The question is just, is this move up already finished? Okay, or do we extend a little higher possibly? Okay. I want to talk to you about which level needs to break minimally to suggest that a top is in place in this wave 1 and that wave 2 is actually started. This wave count, I showed it to you already in the last video. So I just wanted to explain again what we now need to look out for. And in this scenario, we have pretty bullish structure that can send us to round about 8 to 12,000 if support levels continue to hold throughout this bullish market. So it's just a projection. It's not really a target at this stage. We have to get a little closer to that range of 8 to 12K. But in the short term, we are looking at sort of 3,500 to 3,800 next. But probably only after this wave 2 has bottomed, which again is another wave 2 pullback, which shouldn't be too aggressive, but we'll see. If we see a break below 2,324, we will have to talk about alternatives now. As we get into this support area, we don't even have evidence the wave 2 has started, okay? So that's something to be aware of. We haven't got evidence that wave 2 has started. Once we have evidence for that, I can also bring other options onto the table. Need to really think about what else it could be. One scenario I'm seriously considering, and we can talk about that a little more in the next videos, is that we have something like a larger ABC structure here. How that can be integrated into the bigger picture, I can talk about that maybe in one of the next videos, but there would be another option in case we get a really deep pullback, okay? So I need to bring an alternative onto the chart. I haven't had a really bearish alternative, or short-term bearish at least, alternative on the ETH chart for a while. I mean, so far there was no break of support, but still I think we need to have it. So I will do that probably in the next few days. But yeah, here, I mean, what's happening? We've got these 5 waves to the upside, did get to the $3,000 level, couldn't quite get to the 3,028 fib extension, so maybe it will give us another stretch higher. But I explained to you that I need to see minimally a break below 2,877, 78. Basically, it's this swing low here, plus minus a couple of dollars, depending on which exchange. The Tuesday low, basically, the intraday low. So if we get below that level on a sustained basis, that would be the earliest indication that a top is in, really the earliest indication. So then we have to deal with other questions, but without that, I wouldn't even entertain the idea that we have topped here in wave 1. If we have topped in wave 1, then we can map out the detailed structure. I mean, I can already give you a rough idea. Obviously, it would be an ABC structure. Typically, the A wave typically reacts to the 38.2 retracement. Then the B wave and the C wave should get to sort of 50% fib level, or the 78.6, somewhere in between. But then most recently in this bull market, we have seen very, very shallow pullbacks only. That's very, very common in bullish markets. So don't necessarily assume that it's going to go with the ideal targets. We might just see the A wave react to the 23.6 fib level, for example. And that is at 2,780, then a B wave, then a C wave down. And I think it's worth to remember that Elliott Wave tells us that, you know, in terms of guidelines, a wave 2 tends to finish in the area of a wave 4 of the lower degree. That's the around 2,720. So yeah, I just need to mention that. So there could be some support there. I would prefer, though, maybe it's going to go to that, because that's the wave 4 low as well. I haven't labeled that here. I've hidden that, so it's not completely, you know, it looks a bit cleaner. But yeah, that was also wave 4. So yeah, there are a few options where we could also find structural support, but essentially we first need to see a first initial evidence or indication that we have topped there. Until then, I will take the micro count out because people tend to think it is really predictive that this A wave has started, which it's not. We need to get the market breaks micro support first. We haven't even done that at this stage. Could even be that in one way or another, this wave 4 is still unfolding here in some kind of a strange flat structure, and then we get one more high here in wave 5. I mean, it has not reached that 38.2 extension level, which would be ideal actually if it gets there, but we'll see. We'll see. But these are the support levels in case the initial micro or nano support breaks. Then we can look at this larger wave 2 support zone. Yeah, and it might actually form here a bit of a head and shoulders pattern. I mean, just speculating a little bit, yeah. We have obviously here structural support in this area of that previous wave 4 low. Again, maybe that wave 2 will be over there, but it would be very shallow. So let's imagine that we're forming here a bit of a head and shoulders pattern, yeah, something like that. And then as we go down, this might be the A wave I've shown you. This might be the B wave, and then the C wave could be the breakthrough to the downside, the breakdown, and target here 2,651 or 2,551. That would fit quite well, you know, in terms of head and shoulders pattern and a traditional, not traditional, but an Elliott wave pattern, standard ABC correction. So essentially, we need to see what the market does. Does it break out of this range? I mean, we are in an area where a top is very likely. The risk for a deeper pullback has increased. At the same time, I cannot confirm such a pullback until we break at least the first micro support level, and that was the 2,876.77 level. Yeah, and keep you updated. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.